Alright, so getting to a B1 to B2 level and the idea of scope. So what exactly is scope? Well, before we answer that question, I'd actually like to start by asking or answering a different question. What exactly is a B1 to B2 level? Or more specifically, want to concentrate on B1 first. So let's look at the definition given by the CEFR, the Common European Framework of Reference of reference for languages. Sorry about that. So there are 4 bullet points in the rubric. It says, so first of all, can't understand the main points of clear standard input on familiar matters regularly encountered in work, school, leisure, etc. Can deal with most situations likely to arise while traveling in an area where the language is spoken. Can produce simple, connected text on topics that are familiar or of personal interest, and also can describe experiences and events, dreams, hopes, and ambitions, and briefly give reasons and explanations for opinions and plans. So, in other words, all of this really just amounts to one thing: survival language. Survival language meaning if you had to go to the target country that speaks the language, in this case, Hong Kong or Macau, and Cantonese, and you aren't allowed to speak in your native language or languages, you'd be able to survive, right? So there are, in my opinion, I think there are 2 components that make up this kind of a proficiency. Number 1, situational dialogues. And so these are things that, you go to the post office, you go to a restaurant and order food and things like that. And number 2, dialogues, conversations on common topics. So speaking to native speakers and just talking and being able to talk and express your feelings and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. Now, I don't think we can do a lot for number 1 because situational dialogues are situational, which means you have to be in the situation or at least have someone to practice with, in order to practice that. But we can actually do something with regards to number 2, right? And we can do so through scope. So what exactly is scope? Imagine for a minute that the universe of level B1 to B2 looks like this. So these are the kind of topics that are generally involved, I guess, at that level, B1-ish level. So this is, in other words, the scope of a B1, B2-ish level. And so the question that we want to kind of ask ourselves would be, how do you know when you're actually at a B1/B2 level, right? What's an indicator? Is there any a litmus test that can tell you that? Well, the answer very simply is you know when you're there. In other words, you can talk about these topics when you've talked about these topics before, right? So the whole idea of scope, in other words, is to cover these topics one by one until you've covered the entire scope of what pretty much defines B1/B2 kind of a level. Okay. So how do we do this? Well, there is an excellent site. It's called ITESLJ. I cannot, for my life, remember what it stands for. But pretty much in this website, or this portion of the website, it lists a lot of questions in different topics, and you can use them to practice and come up with answers to them. So to break this down even further, so there's no confusion, and to have an exact plan when we actually tackle this, step number 1, you just want to choose a topic when you're on the site. Okay, there's a lot, so you can never run out of topics. This can last for a long time. And then number 2, you want to just choose about 5 questions to work with. Okay, that can probably get you going for a while, maybe a good half an hour-ish, something like that. And just choose 5 questions that are hopefully interesting to you or that you feel are essential. All right, and step number 3, you answer the question like this. Just take a question, translate it to the target language, in this case Cantonese, to the best of your ability. And maybe you can have it checked by a native speaker on a site like italki or lang8.com, and you can just answer it. You can start off from English or your native languages, and then move to Cantonese, or you just directly go to Cantonese, and you just rinse and repeat. That's it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is scope. How to use the concept of scope to get to a strong B1, B2 level. Okay. So that's about it for this video. If as usual, if you have any questions and comments, please feel free to leave them below. I look forward to hearing from you guys. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can receive future updates. All right. Thanks. Thank you very much for watching. And that's it for this time. See you guys. Cheers.